100 naira ko. That's Sambaseko.
Good morning, viewers. Welcome to another edition of your favorite morning show, Lagos This Morning. Today being the 18th of May 2023, and we're going to be discussing about recent issues in Lagos State and also across the Federation. I am Olajide Taufik Olamide, and with me is my wonderful co-host.
Good morning and welcome to Lagos This Morning. I am Gladys Aloze.
All right, quickly, let's take a look at the top stories we have for you this morning. Lagos police detain officers brutalizing Okada man in viral video.
On the next, we have rapper Ikechukwu harassed by police officers.
And also Nigeria Labour Congress disowns Lamidi Apapa.
Resident doctors dare federal government begin 5 days warning strike.
Execution of those who embezzled above 1 billion naira needed, Senator-elect Nduweze.
Not in self-imposed education backwardness, says the Minister of Education, Adamu.
All right, quickly, let's take a look at the front pages we have this morning. We have Vanguard right in front of me. Let's take a look at some of the headlines.
On the front page of the Vanguard newspaper, we have presidential poll, drama as Labour Party factions clash at tribunal.
And also moving on, we have a Saint Obi failed marriage led to his death, Zeb Ejiro says.
Blinken calls Tinubu pledges to strengthen U.S.-Nigeria relations.
Hospital services disrupted as resident doctors begin 5-day warning strike.
In Anambra State, U.S. vows to fish out killers of embassy staff.
Why and how petrol subsidy must go? That's coming from Kingsley Mogalu.
On the next, we have prelates Emeritus of Methodist Church Nigeria, Mbang, dies at 86.
Moving on 10th National Assembly leadership, tension as APC National Working Committee recommends free contests.
Moving on to the next, let's take a look at Nigeria Tribune.
Federal Executive Council okays $4.7 billion port development in Ondo, Lagos, and Delta states.
U.S. Secretary of State Tinubu in 20 minutes phone call, Atiku expresses disbelief.
As Blinken advises on inclusive leadership, stresses U.S.-Nigeria partnership, Tinubu wants assistance on security and economic investment. This is inconceivable, a contradiction to give legitimacy to widely acknowledged fraudulent election demoralizing to citizens. That's coming from Atiku.
25,380 Nigeria's PHCs lack required skilled birth attendants, coming from NPHCDA.
Plateau killings, death toll hits 85. 57 victims get mass burial.
And on Labour Party crisis, we have mob attacks Apapa at PEPC premises.
As INEC only released 30% election document for our inspection, Labour Party Council says. Obi Labour Party refusing to pay 1.5 million naira to access documents requested, INEC tells Tribunal.
Okay.
Interesting.
I'm wondering why they have to pay money. Moving on to The Nation. Expect institutional reforms, Tinubu promises Nigeria as U.S. Secretary of State calls President-elect on phone. Kiyamo chides fuming Atiku for criticizing Blinken's action.
Ex-Methodist prelate Mbang dies at 86. Akeredolu Boroface, Alasho Adura PDP agents.
INEC, Obi unwilling to pay exhibit certification fee. Labour Party faction chair Apapa beaten up after clash with Abure Group in court.
On doctor strike, hospitals paralyzed in Lagos, Abuja, Calabar, and others, as Ondo, Yobe, Osun yet to join patients for evacuation.
EFCC writes outgoing governors. Matawale beam satellite on federal government agencies.
Moving on to the front page of The Nation this morning.
The Guardian
this morning. We have battle in state as 18 ministers lobby Tinubu to retain portfolio.
Doctors strike ground activities at National Hospital.
Atiku in disbelief as US Secretary calls Tinubu pledges support for incoming government.
Hoodlums take over failed Oshodi Mushin Link Road.
On the presidential election petition tribunal, INEC Obi resume hostilities at tribunal. Labour Party leaders fight over chairmanship tussle.
Telcos give banks ultimatum on USSD debt as presidency steps in.
As Emmanuel Abba eulogizes as Khan ex-chairman Mbank dies at 86.
Let's move on to Daily Trust newspaper.
Yeah.
Federal government to replace striking doctors with ad hoc staff. Our demands must be met. Patients groom activities grounded in hospitals.
Okay, we got jobs while serving. Pioneer of core members. My aim of creating NYSC not defeated. That's coming from former president Yakubu Gowon.
Honestly. Trust TV beats Channel's Politics Today at Rai Shori Money Show at Bon Award. Wow.
And on the sporting scene, it is City versus Inter Milan final. Citizens Mall champions to set up Nerazzurri clash, and also Silva's brace, Akonji and Alvarez strike send Etihad into frenzy.
How Napoli beat Liverpool to Osimhen signing.
And Man United and Newcastle are in Sadio Mane's race, and also Nagelsmann rejected Chelsea before Pochettino took up Chelsea's managerial duty.
United Castle in Mane race.
Alright, that's all we have for you on the newspaper front pages. Let's take a look at the top stories. We have Lagos police detain officers brutalizing Okada man in viral video. And also rapper Ikechukwu, you know, there is a little bit of, what's it called, controversy between civilians and police officers about for the past 3 to 4 days now, recent times now. But before we go into the details and also other headlines we have for you this morning, we'll be going on a short break now. By the time we come back, the phone lines will be open for you to call in. Let's have your opinion and contributions on the subject matters this morning. Don't go nowhere. This is Lagos
this morning. We'll be right back.
100 Nereko, Desambaseko.
Guys, welcome back. All right, guys, welcome back to the program Lagos this morning. So we're talking about the Lagos State Police detaining officers brutalizing Okada man in viral video yesterday. We saw the video yesterday where they actually used a metal stuff to eat the guy. Actually, Okada has actually been banned in that particular location, but I think carrying out the arrest, it has been too extreme. At least there were 3 officers there. There should be one officer would be able to just hold on to the guy, then probably the other one to just go away with the guy if it's being too dramatic.
I saw the video. One was dragging the bike, and the other held the stick. Was that a stick or iron?
Iron.
Was hitting the guy on the head and the mouth. I saw how the head was bleeding down to his mouth. That's actually too extreme. Because one person that posted that stuff on his WhatsApp status yesterday said, Shehu Kuti did bad by slapping a policeman. What about this?
Exactly.
The police brutality is actually much. I understand that what some people are also doing is bad. I understand that the biker violated the rules. But then, treating him that way as a law enforcement agent, treating him that way was extremely bad.
It was extremely bad. And also actually trigger people's reaction, even people being hostile against them, because someone who have seen the video or someone who was at the scene of this kind of event, if he sees other police officers, he wouldn't be looking at them from a good light. He'll be like, okay, maybe this is another person, another disaster waiting to happen or something like that.
These are security personnel. We are supposed to I think they should caution themselves in order not to always avoid reacting in that way.
Reacting too much.
Because that reaction there was, what if that guy fell down and died?
Exactly.
What would be the story? Because you don't know how healthy he is.
That's true.
Hitting him with that kind of heavy weapon or that kind of thick weapon might lead to something else.
Exactly.
Even when he was running after them, this man was still hitting him. It's way too much. Please.
And also, we had a similar case yesterday night. Rapper Ikechukwu was being harassed by police officers. Let's take a look at the video where rapper Ikechukwu, the police officer was saying that he was accusing Ikechukwu of looking suspicious. I was shocked when I saw the video. Okay, he was asking the officer, what is my offense? You are looking suspicious. So because how am I looking suspicious?
I just pray with all these things happening, this is one of the things that led to the NSAS protest.
Exactly.
If care is not taken, the police are calling for a fight they can't finish. They should take it easy because, come on, when the citizens rise against them, what would they say? What would they say? Because if you remember the NSAS protest, it was police brutality in Edo State. They couldn't take it anymore and they started protesting, and then other states followed suit. Now, this Lagos State, Lagos is actually very calm. Imagine this didn't happen in Edo State. By now, this is not this.
Exactly.
This won't be the story, obviously.
It might not be the story.
It won't be the story.
All right, let's take a look at the video. Let's see the video where Ikechukwu was actually harassed by men of the police force.
To search me, I want to know why you want to search me.
I said you look suspicious.
Of what? Suspicious of what? What
are you suspicious
of what?
They
know me.
Wait.
No, you want to search me, so you want to search me.
I am being very, very advanced. I'm telling you. For the sake of all our families.
Holding me and holding my trousers that they're going to search me to my brokers.
Let him
IG, you see your guy. IG, you see your guy.
Hold on.
IG, you see your guy.
Wait. I don't see. Don't do this. Okay, Sunday, we have families. What do you mean by I say don't do this?
Excuse me.
Don't do this. No, not like this. Let's go to station. My brother, don't listen to me. This thing is not justified. If you go person house, you take him to court. Do not do this. Don't come and let you let
No. I'm not recording for my own safety.
Wait.
I'm recording for my own safety.
Officer, when you record, if you refuse,
it's uploading.
No,
hold
on.
Internet,
if you refuse,
it's automatic.
When must he refuse? See,
it is my right. It is my right.
Take it to the station. My brother, I can't search you like this.
It is my right.
Can I search you like this?
Suspicious
Can I search you like this? Wait. Can I search you like this?
Call them a man to bring a patrol.
Simple.
That's it.
Good. You see the way I'm laughing because this is funny.
It's
How can
actually
you
very,
say
very
because
funny.
someone looks suspicious, then he has automatically become a criminal? What evidence do you have?
Exactly. How do you even identify a criminal? By just looking at
Looking
their
at the
face.
person, probably because he had too much beards and all that.
It's not as if it's the one who has the most beers in Nigeria. So it's just very, very funny. It was actually in the car there, actually an Uber ride or something. They stopped the guy, the Uber driver, and the Uber driver was he said the Uber driver was so confident, and he just said he's not an armed robber or something. He brought out his driver's license and said his Uber ride. He brought out everything, all the evidences, and he said he was actually making a video. That was when they now picked up on him, like who is he? Now started saying he's actually, he looks what's it called? He looks like a criminal or something. He looks suspicious.
Honestly, I think the Nigeria police force they need to reform their people.
They need to retrain many of them.
Like I'm even looking at the policeman in question is not. Why would they be holding him like that?
As if he's a criminal.
And the guy was making a video and they were even smiling. So what is funny about the whole thing? I think there should be police reform, and then there should be retraining of the police officers. Most of them need to be retrained because I think at some point they've forgotten the reason why they are on that uniform.
Is it even about
not to harass citizens, not to harass them?
Actually, taking many of them out of the system and bringing in new people into the system.
The new people, if you don't train them still, they will still
turn out to be this kind of
definitely.
people.
Definitely.
Wow.
And most of them they are not really out there because they want to protect the life of the citizens. They are
Just
out there
for the
to collect money.
People.
And it's possible that probably they've asked the Uber man for money and then he didn't give them. Then they had to search them. Going on the road, you see a lot of you see police. Sometimes I'd be like, okay, why are policemen on this particular route? What are they doing here? Are they supposed to be on this route? Where they're supposed to be, you won't see them there. This is way too much.
It's
honestly,
way too much. It's getting too much. In the past 72 hours now, we've seen about 3-4 cases of police harassment, either from the citizens, either from the.
Look at that girl yesterday. The girl yesterday that they said the girl assaulted a police officer. Meanwhile, they assaulted themselves because we saw the picture. Do you still have that picture? We saw the picture where the police officer hooked the girl. Some of her this thing was even showing.
Out, yeah.
And then the girl too hooked the police officer back. And now we see another video of a police officer harassing a Nigerian citizen, Rapa Ikechukwu, and then the one that happened in Abulegba yesterday as well, the Okada rider and all that. They even brutalized the guy. They gave him wounds, even though the police force said they've detained the officer.
We are yet to see any picture of any detention because we've seen pictures of Sheon Kuti being paraded as a criminal. Even while investigation is still going on.
In the midst of criminals, he was paraded like he was in their midst. For what exactly? Because he slapped a police officer, which is wrong. He doesn't have the right to do that. But what about the police officers harassing citizens? Then that one is normal. I
think when it's done of the citizens, you see pictures going viral. But when it is their own, you don't see pictures yet. And the swiftness at which they respond to it. I
know that the reason why they said they've detained the police officers involved was because people started speaking out.
Yes.
It started going viral on social media, on Twitter to be precise. That's what
they started calling out the PRO.
The police officers involved have been detained. Please, where are their pictures? We need to see the pictures of these policemen that were detained.
Yeah, we have a comment from Mr. Damian Osazi. Morning, guys. Been a while too. How are you guys doing? Yeah, we're fine.
We're doing great.
Who is this Apapa guy and when did he all of a sudden become the news? Apapa is a factional chairman of the Labour Party that has been suspended by the NLC, by the Labour Party. They've actually suspended him, but now the court has said that he can act in capacity of the chairman, but he has been suspended by the party. So it's now as if both Abure is not the chairman, he's having issues in the court. And also, Lamidi Apapa is not also a bona fide chairman. So many people are seeing him as a mole in the party because we didn't see his pictures during the campaign. Had it been he was there. He was nowhere. He was nowhere to be found. But all of a sudden after the election, he popped out and said he's in the Labour Party.
Not after the election. It was after the Labour Party and P2B had filed a case.
That was when he came out.
That was when he came out.
So that's who he is. There's still controversy surrounding his case with the Labour Party. Mr. Okuoji says, Zoo, Buki, do these people undergo any training at all? How can we be like this in this time and age?
Honestly speaking, that's a very big question. Did you undergo training at all? It's a big, because honestly speaking, like, how can you say someone looks suspicious, then you arrest him?
How do you know when you have no evidence?
No evidence to prove nothing. You didn't see him with any illegal substance.
Exactly.
You didn't see him with any nothing. You just said you look suspicious.
All right, we have our in-house analyst on the phone, Mr. Christian Chuku, this morning. Good morning, Mr. Christian.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for coming on board.
Thank you too. Thank you too.
Okay, all right. We wanted to actually, dissect some of the news updates we have for you this morning. So the Lagos State Police Command have said that they've detained officers brutalizing the Okada man in that viral video yesterday, and also rapper Ikechukwu also, got his share yesterday in a video that's going viral now on social media. Was being harassed
by police officers.
What do you think with the recent issues between the police officers and the people?
Citizens.
What do you think?
Social media has tried in its way to put some sanity and help evidence against culprits or criminals or people that are subject to a crime. Now, probably we will say social media helped the Lagos State Command and some social media, the guys that are on social media, pressurizing the police in charge to take this to court. What I think now is that these things are brilliant, and things that happen almost every day. And if there's a way whereby we can report police action such as this, it will help sanitize the police system. And they should also build a separate police cell, because if they are going to be proactive to police brutality, that means we have like more than half of the police force in the cell. So they should build another cell where we can put the police there. I would not say it's a good one for the Lagos State Police Command, because if not for the pressure of social media, most of these things, these police officers, they go without being brought to book. And for Rapper Ikechukwu, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say, but I think it's Ikechukwu has not been on the spotlight for a long time, so probably they didn't recognize him. So that's why they had to.
The question there is, do they have to recognize who you are?
Exactly.
Do they have to recognize you? But how can they possibly look at someone and say, because it looks suspicious, then you have to be arrested?
When they went to arrest Portable, the police officers, a bit, in a way, they respected him. That is, they saw he was a superstar, so they had to accord some respect. That is in their own way to Portable. It was the second time that they came and arrested him. In Nigeria, is when we have people, we respect personality, we respect
names,
popularity above sanity. You understand?
So sorry, Christian, with this now, that girl that was arrested yesterday, that the police said that she harassed a police officer, that means her fate will probably not be decided anytime soon, because she is not popular, or because she's not known.
Yeah, that's why we need people like you on a social media platform to keep pushing for her release, stopping the police everywhere. So that's the only way I think police can act. That's the only way we can make her popular and police act, because there are so many people, believe you me, at the NSAS, many people were arrested and they are in cells till now. Until the last election, we see some people were released by the Lagos State government. How many of us knew that some of them were still in detention since 2020? So many people like that, they are just arrested and they are just there languishing. So what we can do, since we have our activists sleeping, not really doing what they need to do, let's on social media keep on pushing whatever medium we can use, keep on pushing for their release. As what you're doing this morning, you can call for their release. You tag the police commission, you tag the IG of police, call for her release, and keep on doing everything. That's the only way we can get justice for them. But if we don't see anything, the police are they are overwhelmed. They are not ready to really do so much.
Okay, thank you for that. All right, let's take a look at the controversy in the Labour Party. Now, the NLC has disowned Lamidi Apapa. Is there any way by which can the NLC, do they have the power to completely disown Lamidi Apapa from the Labour Party entirely? Is there any way by which they can actually do that? Is it possible for them? Is it within their jurisdiction to do?
They have already suspended Lamidi Apapa.
Mm-hmm.
They've already suspended him a long time ago. So they are disowning his actions in the court.
Okay.
What he did in the court, they are disowning his action in the court. They have the right. The Labour Party is the NLC. Labour Party is a subsidiary of the National Labour Congress.
Okay.
You're just saying that can a father discipline his child? The Labour Party has the right to even the chairman of, if we have a chairman of the Labour Party, he has the right to even suspend Peter Obi or any other member, or even withdraw the court case. So is the NLC having that jurisdiction, because it's a Labour Party is a creation of the NLC.
Okay.
You understand? So they have the right to suspend him, and even he remains suspended. That's why he cannot act in the capacity. That's why in the court he was not recognized. You understand?
Okay, that's good. And also, let's take a look at the resident doctors. Resident doctors have dared the federal government, and they begin a 5-day warning strike.
Doctors going on strike.
Doctors, many of them, resident doctors to be precise, because there is this issue they've been having. Their salaries ought to have been re-evaluated and been increased by 100% since 2009 till 2014. They actually met with the federal government, nothing was done, and also from 2014 till 2019, nothing was done as well. Now they are clamoring for a 200% increase in their salaries. So what do you think?
It's a problem that keep on repeating itself. In the next dispensation, we'll still see resident doctors also. It is not something that started today.
Wow.
Do you have a government? The Buhari government, are you talking about the Buhari government or the minister under Buhari that couldn't even resolve the issue of ASU? So the resident doctor, I just pity for them, just because our institution, what they are even crying for. One of the things I picked from the agitation is that brain drain. Mm-hmm. Consultants, experts are leaving the country because of the conditions, the working conditions we have in the country today. And one of those things, a doctor is overwhelmed. If you have been to a hospital or a general hospital, see that one doctor will be treating how many patients. They are all weird out, and you see the allowances does not commensurate with the work they do. So why wouldn't they strike? You understand? When we have limited doctors, why wouldn't they strike? A doctor who spends at least 7 years in the university plus practice, we want to go out of the country because other countries, if you're a doctor, a nurse, you're a hot cake. And you see, after they try to play politics on it to resolve it, at the end of the day, it still repeats itself. What we can do in this place is that we should encourage our traditional medicine. We should also have try to encourage the traditional aspect of our medicine and herbal medicine. Way of improving on that sector, we can reduce some of these anomalies that we have.
Okay, so what can you say about executing some of our corrupt officials? Because the senator-elect has said that execution of those who embezzled above 1 billion naira is needed, just like what is being done in China. What do you think?
What are you telling to execute? Is it the politicians that will execute politicians? Or is it the people that dine on the same table that will execute their brother? Like I said, this is a gang up against the poor masses. We have the political class and we have the other class. All these politicians, both Peter Obi, both Tinubu, both Atiku, all of them, they know where their limits. They know their limits whereby they can fight. You understand? They can only fight as a result of politics. So there's a place they don't fight. So do you expect a nation like Nigeria, even the baddest of them all will not want to execute their fellow politician? You can see Disowns Apapa, he went to prison. And at the end of the day, they released him. And they're not giving position. So there are so many things that are involved in all this.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Christian Chukwu. It was a nice time having you today.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, God bless you.
Honestly, on this doctors, I don't know. Did you see that report where the federal government said they're going to replace them with ad hoc staff?
I think that should be a joke. From it
Was
was
that was
Chris Ngige
that
made
was the same
statement.
thing they did to ASU?
They divided ASU.
Of course they did. You saw that report. When ASU continued on their strike, they had to bring out another faction
Kono out of ASU.
out of ASU. You know, just to, because you're doing something wrong, you don't want to admit or even do the needful. Instead, you're looking for a way, like
to abscond
from the whole thing. You know, trying to like create an excuse for yourself in a way it will suit you. That's what they are always doing, and I don't know how we can come out of this if we continue this kind of thing in this country.
You know, that's why I always say that politicians, they take advantage of the loophole in the system. They create the laws and also create the loopholes there for themselves to explore. I always say that if there's this law that once you are a public servant, you have to use public facilities. You have to strictly.
You must.
Only on emergency case or maybe a life and death issue, that is when you can be flown out anywhere in the world. But if it is normal, okay, medical checkup or stuff. Now, if all of them and their families are using the public health sector, won't they fix those places?
Of course they will.
If you get to some places,
and they won't treat doctors anyhow.
Exactly. If you go to some places, if you visit some places in Abuja, you won't. If they tell you that this place is Nigeria, you would argue it, because there is a way by which they actually develop some part of this country to their own taste, whereby they've made everything available there for themselves, but they refuse to do it to the normal to the common persons, to the common people on the street. So it's because they are so free to do anything they like. I think public servants should be using public facilities strictly. They should be doing that. It should be in the law. If once you start aspiring to become a governor, a president, house of rep, just know you're not going anywhere anymore. For that 4 years duration or 8 years,
you have to use public facilities.
You must use public facilities. Now imagine you are using this normal road. By the time we are with you in the same hold up together, I say, Mr. Governor, why are you not flying on the air? Or we even meet in General Hospital. That's the governor. They are treating him. They would actually work on these things. It is not that they can't do it. They know what they ought to do. But they feel like if we liberate these people, there's no way we can actually use them anymore.
Okay, let's take a look at some of the feedbacks that we have here this morning. Mr. Damian Osas, personally, I missed you on this show, but thank God you're here today. He said, what is this fuse about? Because I don't understand why he's becoming a news, rather than then let the court decide election aftermath, or rather case on hand. I think the Nigerian police need to retrain their personnel and also possibly put some strict laws against officers who showcase some sort of criminality and disregard people's fundamental rights. I would have said use body cam like they do in the US. But I know purchasing such would be another way to divert funds by the public officials. Also, don't think we have the maintenance capacity.
Well, I think one major problem we have in Nigeria here is maintenance problem. Now, look at the National Stadium. Look at, is it Teslim Balogun Stadium, Unicon Stadium? Look at Abuja Stadium. How are they maintaining those facilities? Majority of our facilities are poorly maintained. I think we have people who are really not so visionary driven. Most of our politicians are governors and stuffs. Let's say you actually erect an infrastructure now. That is the first phase. In fact, that's the smallest thing you can do. But maintaining that infrastructure, that is the most important, the major thing. Most of these things, during the 70s, 80s, I used to hear they'll say, government facilities were the best then. Government schools were top notch. But look at it now.
Who even wants to go to a government-owned school?
Exactly. Because you have people...
Lack of maintenance.
You have people in the system, they're creating the private sector for themselves. As a way out, in order to run away from the problems. They don't want to face the problem. So they create another place for themselves.
Where they can get more money.
Exactly.
Instead of taking care of the existing one that would require less money.
Exactly. So it's just like that. And also, what was it called? They said that using body cams. By the time they actually want to pass that kind of bill, we might 1 trillion naira to get body cams. We'll now calculate one. Okay, one will cost 100,000 naira to. By the time they even start using the body cam, you hear maybe something happened. They won't be able to get the footage for you. But the battery was down. there was no network to upload. Series of stuff. So I think it's from the system. The system itself. It's not as if our officers are not good. There are times some people are actually good, but because there are no limits to, they are not being watched by anybody. They are not under any control or influence. They will feel free to act beyond proportion. But if they know that okay, you are accountable to this person, if you do this to anybody on the street, this is what will be the consequence. And I always say, if you they say where there is no rule there are no sins, where there is no law there is no sin. If there is no prosecution, everybody will do anything they like. If you don't prosecute, don't be strict. If you are not strict with prosecuting officers and also the citizens as well, everybody will do anyhow. Now imagine what there is this particular picture that I'll put up very soon now. This particular picture that this officer Muyiwa, what was his name? He was having a discussion or an altercation with someone on Twitter, and he said, "You will not get name." Like, go and slap an officer first. You will not get name, which means interpreting that means if he add name. Now look at Shenkuti. He's out already. But now look at this lady that was alleged to have what's it called? Locked an officer.
Harass the police officer.
But
we don't even know her
they were equally harassing each other. And now they're saying that her case would be adjourned, would be postponed till 6th of June. Whereas, Shenkuti's own was immediately, swiftly, now he's at home, chilling with his family.
It's actually
so
very.
What are we talking about? Is that not selective justice, or let's say double standard?
Honestly, okay, we had a caller, Mr. Samson. Please, you can try calling back now. Also, the phone lines are open. You can call in. Let's know what your opinion is on these topics that we're discussing this morning. Let's get to know what you think. A lot of things are happening. The police brutality seems to have started again.
Exactly.
And then with the recent happenings in Lagos particularly, we saw the one that happened in Oyo State 2 days ago, whereby a federal road safety slaps a particular driver, and all that. What do you think? Should the citizens go to the street now and start protesting again? The government will come after them.
Exactly.
But now that the police officers are doing something bad, nobody is saying anything. Mr. Samuel, thanks for calling back.
Thank you for calling.
Hello, Mrs. Samson.
Good morning.
Yeah,
Good morning, Mr. Samson. You're welcome to the show.
Okay. So, where should I start from?
So you can start from the recent spate of police harassment
right now.
issues nowadays. You can start from there.
Okay, police harassment.
Yeah.
You see, the point is this: the police harassment has always. I thought.
Hello.
Hello, guys.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, you can hear you.
Okay, good.
Okay.
So for the police harassment, yeah, totally it is wrong, and for that to be caught, I think it's a two-way thing. It's a two-way thing. First of all, the government needs to reform the police by bringing in surveillance cameras, CCTVs and all that, and also by, going through this psychological therapy of our police officers. While on the second hand, we the citizens will also need to respect the police. We understand the police, they've lost their dignity, they've lost their respect. Most of the time, we as civilians, we don't respect the police. We don't regard them. We tend to always talk back at them. I've never been harassed by police, but I found myself in a situation whereby I am going out with my friends. Why some of them have been harassed? Why I myself am not harassed? Now, it is not perhaps maybe I am lucky, but it's because I understand how to conduct myself. Now, this police harassment also happens in that penal crime.
that we love to always refer to. I think about last month, there was a police, I can't recall the state in US, that got picked. He got the hell out, he got a beating of his life. In US, it was a black American that picked the police guy, beat and blue black. Okay, and of course the police authority dealt with the guy afterwards. Okay, we have seen so many that happened in Latin Americans, even in Spain, in Italy, whereby civilians will beat police. Yes, this is wrong, but we cannot do a fact. We cannot zero it out. There will always be that clash between police and civilians. It's not possible for us to pick it up. But for us to reduce it, the government must take full responsibility. The civilians must also take full responsibility by respecting that symbol of authority. The police officers also must respect themselves. And the police officers, I feel they can do anything. They feel they can enforce anything because they are not being properly watched. And that is where the government comes in by ensuring that there's surveillance, camera everywhere. Every police personnel in the whole world has that propensity to commit crime because they have something in their hand because of that called that firearm. It needs to be watched. They need to properly profiled, and also time to time, maybe biannually, they need to be what psychologically checked. Now, when those things are being done, then we also, the civilians, we must respect the police officers. I don't see anything bad when the police sees you and he feels he wants to interrogate you. I don't see anything bad in you complying with all his interrogations. But what we always see is people will always talk back at the police, and at the end of the day, it leads to backlash. It leads to whereby the police will respond. The bike man that we saw at Abulega, that route, they have said it, bikes should not fly that route. They told bike people, don't follow this route. This route has been listed on those non-bike routes. But then they pass it. There are so many things that the bike people do. Even a normal person, even a person like me, sometimes I follow one way when I believe the traffic is too much. Listen, we are Nigerians, we really do not like to follow rules. And when we are being enforced, then we know how to play the victim card. You see that victimization, we are perfect at it. We are perfect at it. But the truth is, you see me myself now. If I find myself in America, my brother, I'll be the one that will be enforcing the laws. Because I respect that land. Because I respect that country. Okay, so yes, the police are at fault, but we cannot extend to civilians as well. And the government has a critical role to play. Likewise, we the civilians.
All right.
Moving on to the next. Let's take a look at what happened to Lamidi Apapa yesterday at the court tribunal. What would you have to say? And being that Labour Congress now, right, they've disowned him.
Listen, I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel bad. Okay? And I might decide to interpret what happened yesterday in many ways. Lamidi Apapa is working on one right, and that right was given to him by a court of competence, which is the Federal High Court. That High Court named him as the acting chairman. Nobody can say that man is not a member of Labour Party. Nobody. Before he became national chairman, he was the deputy chairman of Labour Party. He will be the one, if they need someone that will tell them the history of Labour Party as of today, though everybody that is on that campaign council of Labour Party, none of them can tell the history as Lamidi Apapa. This man has spent 21 years in Labour Party. You cannot take away that history, that experience from him. I am so disappointed in Obi, because Obi, whom so many are rooting for has failed in one of the critical aspirations of the leader, which is conflict resolution. Obi ordinarily should take this case up, take this man up, take this man, call him, have a round table meeting, even Abuja, have a round table meeting, ask him, have that, sit him down and have that face-to-face challenge with him. Why? What is happening, Lamidi Apapa? We understand the causes, but we need you to work with us. We need you to be on our page. Let this thing be televised. Put him in a corner whereby when anything happens, everybody will understand that this man is the enemy. But as it seems now, that man, they keep, vindicating that man. Because that man, everything they're saying is allegation. They have no single evidence against him. Everything they have against him is allegation. And because the only reason why they can say all those allegations is because the man is a Yoruba man and he's a Muslim. If he wants to be an Igbo man or an Hausa man, I am sure they will find him. There's a simple narrative, especially the obedience of the Eastern Party, have actually imbibed. When they ask you who are you supporting, and you say you're supporting Ashiwaju, and they find out that you're Yoruba, the next conclusion is you are doing it because of your ethnicity. Meanwhile, you are judging me, you are from that Eastern part, but I cannot tell you, you are supporting Obi because of ethnicity. You will try to explain to me that you are supporting Obi because of the competence. But if I tell you that I'm supporting Tinubu because of his competence, you say no. It is that same mentality that they are applying on Lamidi Apapa as of today. It's unfortunate that Lamidi Apapa got, he got trashed, he got embarrassed, and I just want to send a warning, not just to Obi and the obedient, but to all of Nigeria. All right? Because let me tell you something. A little thing can make a nation fall. All right? Because there are some people who might see this as an insult, and they might decide to take it up and go into ethnic war. So we need to apply wisdom, and this is where we need Obi to really come on board and iron this thing out. If the iron things out with Lamidi Apapa, that doesn't take away everything he has in the courts. But he is keeping quiet simply means that he is taking sides, because we can see quite alright. He is sitting right beside Aburi here and here. Tomorrow they have a court case wherein we will find out if truly Aburi forged some certificates. If eventually Aburi is being, convicted, what will Obi do? And will he now find a way to reconcile with Lamidi Apapa? Will he now find a way to reconcile with Lamidi Apapa? Because
Hello?
He's trying to put all his eggs in one basket, which is not wise. So Lamidi Apapa, whatever he went through is bad, but I want Obi to also manage this, this unfortunate incident. He needs to manage it with full wisdom. He's too scared of the obedient movement. He's too scared of them. He's only been energized by the obedient movement. He's appearing to be like a man who doesn't have a phone. Okay, so he needs to be able to I don't think that with Lamidi Apapa. This statement he uttered he doesn't know Lamidi Apapa from nowhere. That's a lie. NLC are they are just one of the institutions we have. So if they say they don't know Lamidi Apapa, they are not the one controlling Labour Party. Labour Party is a political organization. NLC is for workers. There are so many people in NLC that don't support Labour Party. There are so many people in NLC that support PDP. Some support APC. So if Abure says that, or if this guy is using Twitter, that is their own personal They don't speak for the total members of NLC nationwide. So that's my take on Disowns Apapa.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
Okay.
Mr. Samson. Okay, right now there's this video trending of a police men, right? They rammed into a vehicle of a young man because they asked him to stop and then he didn't.
He refused to stop.
And they according to someone said they wanted to kill him.
He actually he lost his life in the process.
Can you just imagine? Now the question is, what is happening? You know, like I said before, this I don't know. Are they calling for?
They should be retrained. There are so many reorientation. You see, when they say okay, they're going for training, you know, I'm not saying they are not doing what they're doing. They actually, to some extent, they are doing. Would I say they are doing okay, but there's always room for improvement, and we have to be on the standard way. But we know that we should be improving. But when someone is not growing over time and same mistakes keep reoccurring, then that person needs to check himself. Like you need to check yourself very well, because like look at this issue now. You're trying to arrest someone, and the person is running away. There should be a way whereby you'd be able to arrest the person without having to kill that person. You know, they actually rammed into the vehicle and the driver has lost his life now. Now, have they successfully arrested the dead body?
Let's take a look at the report, actually. A trending video that reveals the moment a Nigeria police van ran into a car and also, you know, took the life of the driver. It's just so sad. Now, those people there now, if they now get, if they get so angry to the point of reacting, you know, you start seeing press releases from the, you know, top officials, you know, and something else. And nobody has actually spoken on this. We are yet to see any report from the PRO or from, you know, the representative of the police there. So it's just unfortunate. And the report says in the training video, the men in uniform used the Nigerian police official car to hit another man's car, which results in his death. According to eyewitnesses, the policemen, while inside their official car, were trying to stop the man's car, and by extension resulted in an accident after they ran into him. According to the information making the rounds, the accident occurred at Ijebu-Ode in Ogun State. At the moment of reading this report, the whole environment is in the streets.
It's in the state of
Hulabalu. The update further shows that the policeman who rammed into a civilian has been arrested, and people insisted jungle justice should be done to them.
Now look at it. Whatever the guy had done, even okay, imagine the guy, the victim. Let's imagine he is or was a kidnapper or a armed robber or something. Now the police officer trying to arrest someone is now the victim.
I wish we can play the video, but then the video has a lot of things inside.
Yeah, we might not be able to really play the video, but you can check it out. It's trending on Twitter now. But what I think is that Nigeria is very, very important that we have a database. I think Nigeria right now, I'm not sure if we have a database. Now, we have the BVN. At times they tell you is the NIN. At times they tell you use your voter's card. Different thing. There should be a unique number would have that would be connected to your driver's license, to your international passport. Had it been we have this kind of thing, that plate number is enough to track this man and his entire family. Just pick it, let him run away.
Like
just
how
his plate number, just snap it, and you actually just make
this whole thing. This whole thing, like it gives me headache. Like I don't tend to understand how can you you asked someone to stop, he didn't stop, then you started pursuing him. To what extent?
Now everything.
And then he's dead. The same thing that we saw in Abulegba yesterday. I understand that Mr. Sampson said that Okada
has been banned
in that area. But then, even though the Okada was banned in that area, does it warrant the policemen to beat up that young man in such manner to the point that they had to use a weapon on him? That means if they were with gun, they could have shot him.
Something like that. And it was even armless man.
Armless smoking, because you could have just seized the car and then, if you want to arrest him, you can arrest him, but then hitting him. And now this one, now people are calling for jungle justice on those policemen now, and then the police will come after those people and say they've done evil. What about the policemen?
What about the policemen? That's what I'm saying. It's about the system. The people at the top position, they know what to do. but they feel like they are not ready to just do it. We need to have a central
I
system.
feel so sad. How come during the campaign, the election campaigns, everywhere was quiet?
They were very careful there. You will see the last month officials. They came out to beg the people. They were playing K1 song.
There was no last month on the road that at that time.
Exactly.
Everybody
they were
went.
begging the people. But right now, all the shenanigans has continued again.
It's my prayer that the next government should wade into these things.
Actually wade into it.
Honestly, because this thing is becoming alarming. Let's take a look at what our viewers have to say on these issues happening this morning. Dan said, hello, my people. It's been long. I watched the show. Nice one. Thank you. Lamidi Apapa should give up. He is very old. Nigerian Future, you're welcome to the show. Emmanuel said, what is going on? Nigerian Future, good day all. Iyori Omorogbe said, good afternoon to you all. Good
afternoon to you, sir. You actually called yesterday. I can still remember audio conversation.
Yes, you gave us an advice that we'll never forget in a hurry.
Very important advice. So I actually think Nigeria, we actually need to, move fast, like the in fact, move faster than the other nations, because we tend to compare ourselves to the Western world. Who are the Western world comparing themselves to? They keep researching, they keep making research every day just to get better, and we are looking up to them. We should be making research and grow according to our own pace, not according to their pace, because we are not using the same atmosphere there. Nigeria and the Western world is very, very different. We don't have the same people. We are not thinking alike, so we shouldn't be stealing their own pattern. Let's have a central system. You don't need to be running after. Okay, let's say road safety official wants to arrest. You want to effect an arrest now. You don't need to start running after them, after drivers. The plate number is okay, is enough. Just
it's enough
take
to
the
track
picture.
The person.
You can run away. There's this scam that's in Ikeja axis around the Alausa area. Once you pass through that side, if you drive recklessly, once the camera catches you, by the time you want to come and
renew your license, I heard about it.
You would come and you will pay for everything you've done before, so you are not running anywhere. So let people run, let them pass through one way. By the time you want to come back to and renew your papers, they will now play the video. Now this is your crime. You've done this on so date. By the time everyone is watching you, you would not be able to misbehave. I think that's why when Nigerians travel abroad, instead of just like Mr. Sampson said, you feel like passing through the one way, you feel like flouting others, but because there are eyes watching you without you even knowing, whereby you can even flout others now and enter your house. Someone just come and knock your door. Knock on your door. What you did few hours ago, this is the consequences.
Someone actually said that, in Nigeria here, anybody can misbehave, but Nigerians are the most careful people out there.
Exactly. It's because there are rules, there are strict laws guiding them there. But Nigeria here, once you have someone somewhere that you can put a call through to.
Okay, Mr. Iyori said he wants to contribute. Please, you can call in. The phone number is available. You can call in. There's a number displayed on the screen. You can call that number to air your opinion.
Contributions on the spate of police harassment and brutality these days, and also other topics as well.
Or if you have another means of calling in just to make sure that your voice is heard in this program, please do call in. We'll be waiting for your contributions on this show, and don't forget to hit on the like button this morning.
Hit the like button, and also execution of those who embezzles funds above 1 billion naira. What do you think about it? A senator-elect Nduweze is actually proposing that kind of law. But as Christian Chukwu said, who is going to be prosecuting who? Is it the person that has stolen billions of naira that would actually prosecute the other person? So it's like the most people there, they've actually stained their hands. So there's no way you can actually effect an arrest on someone. You feel like you two have exposed you, then they will execute all of us together. So I think it's just the system just needs to be revamped. We need a total revamp of it, because we are calling for the overhauling of the police force now. I think many sectors of the economy needs to be totally revamped. We need a direction now. I don't think we have a direction. We are just like, okay, let's see where we can go to. In 2010, there was this projection, okay, Nigeria Vision 2020. There were so many things that they listed out. How many of those things did we achieve in 2020? Now we're in 2023, and some persons are proposing 2050, Vision 2050. When other countries are even in 2090 or something right now. There's a video I saw online, a flying car, and Nigeria. Now you're going to produce.
All right, this morning, okay, we have
It's
some people
something else,
calling
something
in.
else.
Let's take a call from Mr. Iyore. Hello, good morning. You're welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Good
Fine,
morning,
thank
sir.
you,
You're welcome. You're welcome to the program this morning.
Iyore Omorobe from Edo State.
Wow.
I'm calling from Europe.
You're welcome to the
God
show.
bless
Good
you.
to have
I just walked in and I saw that you guys are live broadcast. I really appreciate you, the way you guys are analyzing the whole system. Yes. Let me come into that bike man. What happened to that man yesterday? You know, this injustice must be abolished. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to, whether to call the IG or the commissioner is not seeing it. It's only IG that is only in the order. I don't know. Because even though you want to arrest somebody, doesn't warrant as if it's a cultist war. What I saw yesterday was barbaric. You know, it looks like as if two core group came out to be fighting and need the police rescue to defend this very young man. I believe he's a Nigerian and he's a Muslim. You know, the man was dragging bike with you people. Look at the way the Yorama brought a stick. How can a policeman do that? When government are giving you gun, government give you handcuff, you did not make use of your handcuff, and you are going for arrest, your handcuff is not with you. The next thing, you run into a stick by the roadside. Look at the way you are hitting the young man, see you are hitting the cow that refused to move, you know, along to your direction. And this is a human being, just look at the way you hit his hand. Maybe that young man's hand had been dislocated. Okay, you did not stop there. You still went ahead, but to use that stick on him at the party, on his head. It was a good Samaritan Nigerian that took the young man to the hospital. I wish nobody was there. That young man would have been killed by the roadside. Tomorrow somebody will come out and say, hey, I've been knocked down by the passerby, whichever car and all that. None knew that it is some of these policemen that is causing this man committing this dirty act to the society. Most of these people that be killed, before you know, you wake up in the morning and see dead body along the road. Most of them, the what they are letting us know, most of them are being brought by this police, by this going out with this DAFO vehicle, using the DAFO vehicle to be arresting people, you know, they are not complying to their system, they will kill some of them, and at the end of the day, the next day you come across these people along the street, which is not really a welcome development. This policeman, IG, you abuse our citizens to show as an example, and everybody supported you. Please, we want you to also send that fellowship to this police. You understand me? The whole of them that was involved in this camera must be brought to book. And where this thing happened, I have that the police station is very close to this place, and these people must be featured and they must go for aid. You understand me? Because what's shared to civilian must be shared to the police. And when these things are going together, all these things will begin to reduce. I don't know. Upon all this that is happening, they are demoting them, they are sending them the way, they don't seek to learn lesson. I don't know what's wrong with these people. What are these policemen are taking Corona? I don't know how they call it. How do they call them? These are what they smokes, you know, what they call them, whatever they call them, you know. I believe these policemen have gone beyond their boundary, have gone beyond so many. The things they are taking is what is working on them, not the uniform again. What they are taking on their brain is what working on them. They use that uniform to come out as a common flag. You know, they are not working according to the way government is supposed to do. That is not the way they treat people, citizens here. The citizen here, you would never see policeman 1 year to 1 year for him to bring out his handcuff to handcuff anybody, or bring out guns, or begin to drag somebody along the road. It have never happened. As I speak to you now, thank God I'm calling you on WhatsApp. If you permit me to put it on the video call, you see a policeman, a police station opposite my house. Opposite my house. Year to year, you will never see that gate open. I see the place looks like a desert, but there are policemen there. The whole place is so calm. You can hear where I'm calling you from now. The environment is so calm. I don't know what's wrong with Nigeria police. I don't know when they're going to change their narrative. You understand me? Many of them are being sanctioned for others to learn. They are not ready to learn. We are tired of this thing. And this is how it started. And they are about to bring out NSAS again. You know, continuity of NSAS again in this 2023. We will not welcome it. The youth we have is not enough again. People have been killing, people have been dying every day. It's for you to go and use your muscle power to go and get this, how do they call this Igbo people? Some of these boy that is killing innocent people, and second to Boko Haram and slaughter people under 24 hours. We'll be able to record over up to 50 something or 70 something. Then, in the great country Nigeria that is supposed to be respected, a country that's supposed to have all the security, left and right and center, we don't know what's happening. That the leaders have corrupt these people, they're not giving them their normal allowances, they're not taking care of them, and they are not taking laws into their hands every day. We don't know how to do whether the government have to scrap this police and reform a new police again. We don't know where to start from. What we are seeing on social media, thank God for social media. That means what have been happening before the social media came. You know, it's only God that knows. Thank God for social media, that everybody is now with phone. You are in the market, you are with phone. Even the little baby that just born yesterday, they are not giving children phone now because of insecurity. You understand me? We condemn this act, and like Commissioner of Police should call these people to order to stop this kind of attitude. Enough is enough for these things. We don't see them here. It doesn't happen here. If thank God, most of all this government, they travel out of their country over here. They see what's happening here. Nobody embarrass them. Who want to smoke, they smoke the way they want to smoke. Who want to drink, they drink responsible. They don't misbehave here. The people go on their way. The policemen do their normal job. Policemen will never bring. The policemen, they're not even working. They are working like they do things like the way the citizens are doing their things here. Nobody harass you. You don't harass them. Everybody just doing their own. Nobody disturb each other. But I don't know why police just wake up, begin to disturb the citizen. At the end of the day, you see the citizens that they want to take laws into their hand. All these things are the things that make somebody to fight back. You cannot pursue snake to the wall. At the end of the day, we definitely fight back. Look at what you have done to this boy. If this boy now revenge tomorrow and come across policeman tomorrow, and if he pass on the policeman, what will you say that happened? You say that citizens are beginning to take laws. Okay, take a look at that young girl that be sent to prison. You understand me? Those are the kind of systems. Look at the young girl that is already in prison because he said that this is my right. Because why the policemen, this is the time for them to put themselves in the shoe that they should respect themselves, for the citizens to respect them. That is it. You understand me? What happened there now before that girl not get hold of this policeman? Nobody saw it. It was what they saw now on the video that the guy is holding the policeman uniform. That's what we saw. But before that young girl, help the policeman, nobody saw that thing. What transferred that issue? Nobody saw it. It was the video. We're not saying that he's holding the policeman. The next thing, the judge is now reminding this guy the next month. You can see injustice. This kind of poverty injustice that the judge is doing, we don't need it in the country. You understand me? The law have no respect of anybody. Why will you begin to see that the judge will just look there because of their shirt, because of their face, you just hate them, because you are putting on the element of a judge, you just sit down on your comfort zone and look at them because they are wretched, you just sentence them, you don't look into the matter and know why this matter is like this. You know, if what the guy did is wrong, we agree. Okay, this guy should be reminded, by next week, it should be brought back to court. Not by next month. No, don't be using their ugliness to be dealing with these people, my judge. We are begging you people, to do the right thing at the right time. It is only the poor people that suffer this pain. The rich, they skate through. Nobody asks the question. If a big man will slap a poor man, the judge cannot do anything about it. Okay, just take a look of a show. And 100 hours, you are telling somebody they should come out. If they want to pay a sum of 1 million and a house in Iran, but what happened to this poor girl now? You did not bring her charges. My law, is that how it's supposed to be? Okay, look at the other one that's still another laptop, a bit television they stole. A judge, a city judge, because of their poverty, they are beginning to use their poverty to be jailing them by hanging. For what? Who does that You understand me? They don't look at your appearance as a black man to use because they are white people to use as a black man to test you in the land. They don't do it here. They will never here. You understand me? I have a lot of citizens of my country that is in jail here. I know how they treat them. They treat them the way they treat their people here. But our country, they see our citizens as a poor people, as if they are from the jail. They see they are from like they see them like they are people from Cameroon. Why? Why will you be doing this like this? Don't you know these people tomorrow they'll become something else tomorrow? These so-called rich people, this government today, they will tell you their story how they started, how their mother suffered for them before they become who they are today. We must stop these things. Government, we are begging all of you. We are begging all of you. Look at people that steal a lot of billions. Okay, you are suing somebody to jail now by hanging. Look at ESCC. The ESCC is there. You are the judge that ordered him to go to jail. Nobody arrested him. He did not go to jail. Look at the IG, the said IG. The same judge ordered them to go to jail. They didn't go to. They sentenced them to prison for how many days? They did not. Nobody entered. Nobody arrested them. What kind of something is this? Why would this law be made for the poor? You understand me? The favor for the rich. Why would all this? That's why you see all these people today are doing everything to be the rich people. And let if they ever want to fall, let the heaven fall. There's a rich man. And when I go to court, the court will also temper mercy with justice with me. If I'm poor, the court will say, let me go and die. Enough is enough for all this.
Thank you so
we are
much.
begging all of you. And maybe you people are watching this thing. This is a live broadcast. I'm calling from outside the country. The way the judge do things here, that's not the way people are doing it. You people are being colonized by the foreigners. You have to behave like the foreign systems. You understand me? We are all angry with the way you are treating our fellow Nigerians over there. We are not happy. You cannot see them with their ugliness and begin to treat them with their ugliness. We beg all of you once again. The citizens must be treated as equal right. All of them are still billions in the country today. We are not jailing them. We want all of you to be jailing them. Yes, the law have no respect of anybody. But the law only respect the rich and it does not respect the poor. It's not supposed to be so. Police, we want you, all that committed this offense that be brutalizing the citizens of the country of Nigeria, all of you must pay for it. That is what I say to IG. That's what I say to Commissioner. Commissioner, wake up to your responsibility and make sure that all these people that are involved in the camera, like the way they beat that woman, flogging a woman as if you are flogging a dog. How dare you to do it? You don't dare to flog a dog in this country. You don't dare. If the day you flog a dog, the camera caught you, the street camera caught you, that day consider yourself, you're already reminded. A dog compared to a human being flogging a woman like your wife in the house. That means your animal, that policeman should be treated like animal in the prison and should be demoted and should be settled by prison. The law, we want to know what that law works in that country. God bless you, my great live broadcast people. I appreciate you for giving every one of us the voice to speak to power. But without you people, these people would are not ready to listen to us. And with this voice, I believe they will hear us. And they are watching us, and they will definitely listen to us, whether they like it or not. Enough is enough for this nonsense. We will not take it from that country. That is why a lot of people are jackpot. Come and see what's happening over here. I've been here for years. I've been living freedom. Nobody have ever tempered to touch me. Nobody. Nobody. That man is not born in this country to touch. I respect my lay, and the policeman respect his lay here. And everybody is doing that is according to equal rights. The governor stand in the queue when I buy something. I will stand in my queue here. The same supermarket, all of us are attending. There is no convoy to tell you get out. The government is here. You don't dare it here. All this every convoy that running up and down, running after one person. It does not exist in this country. Enough is enough for all this. We must change the narrative. We must get the new government that will change the system, that the way the system should go, and everybody should benefit the government of democracy. God bless Nigeria. God bless the people, the commoner, and God bless the voiceless people. God will definitely fight for all of you.
Amen.
Have a nice day.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Ijeri. We appreciate.
Thank
that
you.
was a nice contribution, actually.
Beautiful contribution.
Thank you so much. We appreciate.
Do you actually imagine how it would look like, being in the same supermarket with Governor Sanwo-Olu?
It would be as if you've arrived, but that should be a normal thing.
Be a normal thing.
But then let it happen here. You'll be like, oh God, I took selfie with him.
No,
something like that.
Even if you take selfie with him, it should be nothing at all. Even some people might be starstruck. Okay, this is the governor. They see him mostly on the TV, but it should be that way. It's not as if then one person, a particular governor or president, they would now be hundreds of special advisors. Something happened in our have senior special advisors, plenty of them. We now have the senior special advisor. We would now have advisors. You now have special advisor to the governor on youth, on this, on that, on so many kind of irrelevancies, and these people are on side.
Okay, moving on this show this morning, let's take a look at some of the feedbacks that we have. Gideon, this police thing is becoming too much. I think the IGP is at their back. Maybe he sent them because he is not doing anything. Uku Oji said, unfortunately, your IGP isn't trained either. He can't give what he doesn't have. Sorry for Nigeria. Sorry for Nigeria. All right, I want to say something before. Some time ago in Abia State, there was this governor, their son, like, I think he was attending a wedding or something like that, with convoy. Then they had to tell people that they should clear. What they did to that governor's son. About people, to be precise, they will not forget it in a hurry.
Wow,
like, they dealt with him. Why? Wow. Because you are passing. Who are you?
Who are you? Because you are a governor's son.
Because you're a governor's son. It's your father that is the governor, not you.
I think even if we would be using convoy, it should be only for the
official purposes. If you're going for an official meeting or you're on official duty. So what's all this thing about?
Anytime they move, they'll tell you it's an official stuff.
Well, even though they're going to buy something, it's official. It's all right. I think we'll be coming to the end of the program this morning. Thank you so much for everyone that contributed. Thank you, Mr. Ijori. Thank you, Mr. Samson. Thank you, Gideon, Nigeria Future, Dan Ukwoji. Thank you so much.
Mr. Damian Osas as well.
Of course, Mr. Damian Osas. You didn't call in today, but we appreciate all your comments that you dropped on the comment section. Thank you so much. Right. And also our in-house analyst, Mr. Christian Chiku.
Yes,
a big shout out to you.
All right, so stay tuned. This is Lagos This Morning. We'll be coming back to you very soon for another program. Just close it, and we have a lot of interesting stories to discuss there as well, pertaining to the trivial issues and also to the women and ladies and also the guys, the youth to be precise. There's this video of a young boy and a girl
who is not even up to 11.
Not even up to 11.
She should be around 10 years old.
Children that they would ask, go and lie down or go and kneel down and raise up your hands.
In a hotel room.
Lodged in an hotel room. That has been generating controversy.
And she was taking videos.
With a small boy that should be in probably GS2 or something, being in the class reading, studying for your future. This
maybe they went from class to hotel.
I don't even understand. Those people actually allowed them to lodge in that hotel. When it comes to parenting now, there's this modern pattern that they're using, unlike the traditional pattern whereby it's like a community parenting. Your mom will discipline you. Even someone can even flog you before your mom comes and report you, and your mom will still flog you on top.
These days, you don't flog children.
Exactly.
Some parents don't even flog their own child. How much more you? Who the hell are you to flog someone else's child? They will sue you. And of course, our Nigerian police wasn't looking for where to eat from. So if you bring that kind of case to them, you are in for it.
So we'll be bringing that discussion on Girls Closet very soon. In the next few hours, we'll be back. Keep watching Flip TV. We'll be coming back with beautiful information for you as well, and we'll be dropping news updates from time to time. So we'll see you again on this program, Lagos This Morning, tomorrow for the Friday edition. Stay tuned. This is Flip TV.
Thank you so much for being a part of the program, like I said before, and a big shout out to the guy behind the camera. You're doing a great job. Someone said yesterday that Flip TV is getting better technically, and that's kudos to Save a Millie on the beat. Thank you so much. I am so glad.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.
100 Nereko. That's